Blame, complaint, and excuse.
Today, we're diving straight into the sneaky, everyday psychological habits that are actively robbing you of your inner tranquility. We're going to talk about what keeps you trapped in a victim mindset, and most importantly, how you can completely reclaim absolute control over your own mental state. Have you ever just stopped and wondered, why does your mind feel constantly stressed and dissatisfied, even when there isn't some huge, immediate crisis right in front of you? Well, we're going to explore that fundamental question by looking at the reactive habits that secretly drain your energy. And these aren't big, dramatic life events. They're actually the really subtle automatic responses we just default to when things don't go our way. So take a look at this. This is essentially our core framework for today. To find true peace, you have to recognize and literally trade the three thieves of peace: blame, complaint, and excuse, for the incredibly powerful tools of responsibility, acceptance, and action. It's a direct exchange. You simply can't hold on to the thieves and still expect to experience the peace. All right, let's get into section 1. Thief number 1, stop the blame game, the piece of power. Blame is the act of giving away your power. Wow, that really shifts your perspective, doesn't it? When you blame your boss, your spouse, or, the economy for your unhappiness, you are essentially handing them the keys to your emotional well-being. You're basically saying, I can't be at peace until you change. You are literally making yourself powerless. Let's look at how this plays out in real life. We see this familiar scenario all the time, pointing the finger at a distant partner for unhappiness in a relationship. It's such an easy default, but the truly empowered response? Turning that finger right back around and asking yourself, okay, what part of this is actually under my control, and what can I do right now to initiate a connection? By focusing entirely on the actions that are under your direct control, you instantly reclaim your power and, as a result, your peace.
Moving right along to section 2. Thief number 2, quiet the complaint, the peace of silence.
Now, we kind of just think of complaining as harmless venting, right? Like blowing off steam. But look at this definition. It's a verbal leak of energy. It highlights exactly what is wrong without moving you a single inch toward an actual solution. Biologically and psychologically, this habit actually locks your brain in a state of high stress and perpetual dissatisfaction. You are essentially pouring valuable mental energy straight down the drain. So here's the no complaint rule, and it is beautifully simple. If you can't fix it, accept it. If you can, take action. For example, if it rains on the day of your big outdoor event, complaining to every single person you meet is not going to magically stop the rain, right? So skip the emotional spike. Just state the fact. It's raining. Let's move the party inside. Boom. You protect your mood, you conserve your energy, and honestly, you're just a lot more fun to be around.
Okay, section 3. Thief number 3. Eliminate the excuse. The peace of integrity.
You know, when you live on a steady diet of excuses, you start to generate something called internal static. It's that nagging, super uncomfortable feeling in the back of your mind that you just aren't being completely honest with yourself. And this static absolutely destroys your piece of integrity. To clear it out, you have to bravely own your results, whether they are outstandingly good or terribly bad. Think about this familiar excuse. I'm way too busy to exercise, and the gym is too far. I mean, it sounds reasonable, but deep down, it creates that internal static. Now, try replacing that with, I haven't made my health a priority yet. Ouch, right? But replacing I couldn't with a profoundly honest statement about your own choices avoids all those mental gymnastics. It might sting a little at first, but it brings massive peace in the long run. Section 4. The defense mechanism. Reacting versus responding. All right, so how do we actually defend against this? Here's your tactical playbook. Step 1. When something goes wrong, pause for 10 full seconds. Literally count it out. Step 2. Use that exact silence to catch the urge to blame, complain, or excuse before it even escapes your mouth. Step 3. Choose a deliberate, grounded response. That 10-second buffer zone, that is a physical, real-world space where peace is ultimately won or lost. Picture this. You just missed an important flight. We have the automatic reaction, where you blame traffic, complain loudly about the airline, and make excuses about your alarm clock. The result of that? Guaranteed high stress and zero progress. But what about the deliberate response? I missed the flight. I am responsible for my timing. I accept this happened. What is the next best option? Reacting guarantees conflict. Responding paves a direct path to peace. Which brings us to section 5. Focus on the gain, not the drain. Blaming and complaining focus entirely on what is draining away from you, your time, your money, your sense of fairness. Instead, every single time you feel that familiar urge to complain or make an excuse, ask yourself this one simple question: what is the lesson here? This instantly forces your brain to look for what can be gained from the situation, rather than focusing on what is draining your life.
Let's say you're at work and a major project just totally tanks. The natural inclination is to build this massive wall of excuses to protect your ego. But what if you focus on the gain? By looking at a failed project as valuable new data rather than a complete disaster, you successfully turn a frustrating loss into a really powerful, peaceful lesson.
And finally, Section 6, the ultimate peace formula.
This right here elegantly encapsulates everything we've talked about today. Choosing to react with blame, complaint, and excuse guarantees internal and external conflict. It's practically a mathematical certainty. Conversely, taking complete, unvarnished responsibility undeniably equals peace. Drop the thieves, and tranquility is all that remains.
So I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. If you were to go the next 24 hours without blaming anyone, complaining about anything, or making a single excuse, how much lighter do you think your mind would feel? Try it out. Catch yourself in that 10-second pause, choose the deliberate response, and see the transformation for yourself. The peace is absolutely yours to claim.